Metaphysics is one of the core branches of philosophy, exploring the fundamental nature of reality, existence, and the universe. It delves into questions about what is ultimately real, what kinds of things exist, and how they relate to one another. The term metaphysics itself originates from the works of Aristotle, where it referred to the studies that came after the physics, a kind of inquiry beyond the physical world. Today, metaphysics addresses profound and abstract issues that transcend the scope of science, focusing on what lies beyond empirical observation. A review of philosophy's three branches. Before delving deeper into metaphysics, it's essential to understand that philosophy as a discipline comprises three major fields. Ethics. This branch deals with questions concerning the propriety of conduct, or how we ought to live. It explores right and wrong, morality, values, and justice. Epistemology. Epistemology is concerned with the origin, scope, and nature of knowledge. It investigates how we come to know things, the limits of our knowledge, and the criteria for what counts as true knowledge. Metaphysics. Finally, metaphysics focuses on the ultimate nature of things. It is concerned with what exists, the nature of existence itself, and the relationship between mind, matter, time, and space. Metaphysics, as the third branch, asks questions about the ultimate reality. What is the nature of being? What exists beyond our physical world, if anything? Is everything reducible to physical components, or is there something beyond the material? In pursuit of these questions, we can walk down one of three significant metaphysical paths: materialism, idealism, and realism. The three paths of metaphysics. 1. Materialism. Materialism is the metaphysical theory that asserts everything that exists is ultimately composed of matter. According to materialists, nothing outside the physical, measurable, and finite world exists. For them, everything in the universe is explainable through physical processes, and phenomena like consciousness, thought, and emotion are reducible to the interactions of physical components. This perspective emphasizes the primacy of the physical world and often aligns itself with scientific inquiry. If something cannot be observed, measured, or quantified in the physical universe, materialists would argue that it does not exist. Champions of materialism. 1. Democritus, an ancient Greek philosopher who proposed that everything is made up of indivisible atoms. 2. John Locke, an Enlightenment thinker who supported the idea that the mind is shaped by sensory experiences of the physical world. 3. David Hume, a philosopher who emphasized empirical observation and skepticism about anything beyond the material world. 4. Karl Marx, a political theorist who argued that material conditions and economic factors are the primary drivers of history and human behavior. 2. Idealism. In stark contrast to materialism is idealism, a metaphysical view that maintains everything exists in a mental state. According to idealists, the mind, or consciousness, is the primary reality, and what we perceive as the physical world is dependent on the mind's perceptions. Thus, for idealism, mind or spirit is fundamental, and the material world is secondary or illusory. Idealists challenge the materialist view by claiming that physical objects cannot exist independently of our perception of them. According to this view, everything we experience is shaped by our mind, which gives rise to the phenomena we perceive as reality. Champions of idealism. 1. Bishop George Berkeley argued that the physical world exists only insofar as it is perceived by the mind. To be is to be perceived. 2. Baruch Spinoza, a philosopher who believed that mind and matter are two attributes of the same underlying substance, which is God or nature. 3. René Descartes famously claimed, "I think, therefore I am," asserting the primacy of mind over matter. 4. G.W.F. Hegel developed a dialectical method where reality is understood through the unfolding of ideas, with the mind playing the central role in shaping the world. 3. Realism. Realism is the middle ground between materialism and idealism. It is the metaphysical view that acknowledges the existence of both mind and matter, body and spirit. Realists argue that the material world exists independently of our perceptions, but they also recognize the existence of mental or spiritual realities. There are varying degrees of realism, from extreme realism, which leans heavily toward the idea that universals, such as concepts like beauty or justice, exist independently of the mind, to moderate realism, which accepts both the existence of universals and particular objects as real but dependent on context and interaction. Champions of realism. 1. Plato. An extreme realist, he proposed that beyond the physical world, there exists a world of eternal, unchanging forms or ideas. 1. These forms represent the true reality, of which the material world is just a shadow. 2. Aristotle. A moderate realist, he rejected Plato's theory of forms and argued that reality consists of both matter and form, and that universals exist, but only in the particular things we encounter in the physical world. Metaphysics, as a branch of philosophy, seeks to answer fundamental questions about the nature of existence, reality, and the relationship between mind and matter. Through the exploration of materialism, idealism, and realism, metaphysical thinkers attempt to provide a framework for understanding the ultimate nature of things. Each of these paths offers a unique perspective. Materialism argues that the physical world is all there is, idealism posits that reality is fundamentally mental, and realism offers a synthesis, affirming the existence of both the mind and the material world. Through these metaphysical lenses, we approach the mysteries of existence from different angles, each contributing to the broader philosophical quest for truth. The exploration of metaphysics is a journey into the deepest questions of existence, reality, and the nature of being. By seeking to understand what lies at the foundation of the universe, metaphysics challenges us to think beyond the physical and observable, pushing the limits of what can be known or imagined. The three major paths within metaphysics, materialism, idealism, and realism, offer different, and sometimes competing, visions of reality, each with profound implications for how we understand the world and our place in it. Materialism, with its emphasis on the physical, measurable, and finite, aligns closely with scientific inquiry and has had a powerful influence on modern thought. It seeks to explain everything from consciousness to morality through the lens of physical processes. By asserting that nothing exists beyond matter, materialism offers a grounded and pragmatic view of the universe, but it also faces challenges in accounting for the subjective experiences of mind, emotion, and consciousness that seem to transcend the merely physical. In contrast, idealism presents a radically different picture of reality, one in which the mind is primary and the physical world is secondary or even illusory. Idealists argue that our experiences of the world are shaped by mental processes, and that the ultimate nature of reality is not material but mental or spiritual. This view forces us to consider the ways in which our perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness shape our understanding of the world. By focusing on the primacy of the mind, idealism opens up possibilities for understanding the intangible aspects of existence, such as thought, imagination, and morality, but it also raises questions about the nature of the external world and whether it exists independently of perception. Realism, the middle ground between materialism and idealism, offers a balanced approach that acknowledges the existence of both the material and the mental. Realists argue that both mind and matter are real, and that they interact in complex ways to create the world we experience. This view allows for a more nuanced understanding of reality, one that respects both the empirical world of matter and the internal world of thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Realism's flexibility makes it an attractive option for many, but it also faces the challenge of reconciling the tensions between the physical and the mental, the objective and the subjective. In examining these three paths, we see that each offers valuable insights, yet each is also incomplete in its own way. Materialism provides a robust framework for understanding the physical world but struggles to explain consciousness and the non-material aspects of life. Idealism, while offering profound insights into the nature of the mind and experience, risks losing its grip on the physical realities that shape our lives. Realism attempts to bridge the gap, but it too must contend with the complexities of harmonizing mind and matter, the mental and the material. What makes metaphysics so compelling, and so essential to philosophy, is its capacity to frame these profound questions about the nature of reality in a way that encourages reflection, debate, and further inquiry. The metaphysical paths of materialism, idealism, and realism do not simply offer abstract theories. They provide lenses through which we can interpret the world around us. They shape our views on the relationship between science and spirituality, the nature of consciousness, the role of perception in shaping reality, and the ultimate meaning of existence. For many, the appeal of metaphysical inquiry lies in the fact that it refuses to settle on easy answers. Instead, metaphysics invites us to live with uncertainty, to embrace the mystery of existence, and to engage with questions that have no definitive solution. It challenges us to confront the limitations of human knowledge and understanding, while also inspiring us to keep searching for answers. In a broader sense, the metaphysical exploration reflects the human quest for meaning. By asking what is ultimately real, we are also asking about the meaning and purpose of life. Are we, as materialists might suggest, simply complex arrangements of matter destined to return to the earth? Or is there something more, a mental or spiritual dimension that gives our lives depth and significance? Or perhaps, as the realists contend, we are a fusion of both, with our minds and bodies intertwined in ways that shape our experience of the world? Metaphysics, therefore, is not just an abstract field of study. It is a reflection of our deepest concerns as human beings. It touches on questions of life, death, purpose, and existence, and it invites us to think critically and creatively about what it means to be part of the universe. While the paths of materialism, idealism, and realism each offer different answers, the true power of metaphysics lies in the conversation between these views, and in the ongoing search for understanding. Ultimately, metaphysics teaches us that the universe, and our place within it, is far more complex and mysterious than it might initially appear. Whether we lean toward the tangible certainty of materialism, the mental richness of idealism, or the balanced approach of realism, we are reminded that reality is multifaceted, and that every answer we find raises new questions. In this way, metaphysics serves as a testament to the boundless curiosity and intellectual drive that define us as human beings, urging us to look beyond the surface and into the depths of existence itself.